talk a little bit about, as you started to see the product, come to life, did anything change about your original vision? Like talk us through that.
The reason why I believe that we're succeeding. So right now, for example, there's a company coming out there, and I'm okay announcing it. It's called Minect. So Minect has some huge celebrities behind them, and they have a couple different features that we don't have. And if you look at it on the top layer, they're doing fantastic. But in reality, if you see the experts that have joined, they're not doing so hot. The process that we went through, we really identified what would be actually successful. Like, what are people actually looking for? So, for example, Jackie, I believe is her name, did research for us. She booked with one of our competitors, booked an appointment and talked for 15 minutes with a closet designer. And two of the things that came from that is, one, after 15 minutes, the call immediately cut off. And she said, I was having an amazing experience with this celebrity designer, and after 15 minutes it cut off. And then she said, I got so much information from that, but I wasn't able to follow up or rewatch it. We took that information and we ended up building where it doesn't cut off at 15 minutes. There's been multiple sessions where it's gone not 15 minutes, but 30 minutes or 60 minutes. And one of the unique things about that is we found out that experts like to make the money, right? That's what they're there for. It's a free market system, so they can put whatever rates they want. However, they get the dopamine effect of like, I'm being contacted by someone that's truly in need, and I'm able to help them. That's a cool feeling, right? So they're okay going an extra 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes because they're truly helping out someone in need. So they get to decide when the call ends. And then also after the call, working with Truefit, we realized we should have the video, being able to watch the video afterwards so that you can revisit your appointment. So things that, I had the overall basic idea, but because of the research that we did and as we built it out together, that's what's amazing about having a group working on a project where, I don't know if you see this or not, I might not look it, but I'm a 41-year-old white male from Southern Maryland. I do not represent all of America, right? So, and I'm okay with that, right? But that's why you want a team to come together and say, hey, from your viewpoint's going to be different than mine. Your viewpoint's going to be different from mine, though. So it was just a great experience of everyone working together, which I appreciate it, where it's like seeing you all in person for the first time. It's like, truly, it's like my family back together, right? We spent hours and hours and hours working on something where just as much it's easy for me to say Smeeple's mine, but it's also a part of you as well.
So one thing, this is off script, but I have Jess here. So recently you were telling me how much you missed the discipline of a product owner. So we call them product owners, project manager. Talk a little bit about the experience with Jess. And
Jess is mean. She's like, every time I reach out to her, she is mean. But I didn't in reality she's not, though, right? I didn't realize just how important that is for someone to be able to stay on task, organize everything, where in my mind it's like, at first I'm like, no, don't restrict me, let's run. And now I look back and dealing with different team players that are coming onto our team and just different agencies and so forth, it's like, no, Jess was absolutely right in that way. So we would not be where we are today if it was not for you and the rest of the team.
Well, and talk a little bit about what you're balancing when you're working with someone building. There's a lot.
Nothing too bad.
Obviously, it depends on, client by client. I think in your case, your vision was so huge, which ended up paying off. But Calvin really wanted to boil the ocean and do all of the things. He didn't necessarily have a target right away. We wanted to try to test the market across a lot of different disciplines, industries. How do we, create a platform that can serve many, so that you can take it to market and get the feedback? I think translating your idea into something that we could create in a reasonable budget, right? Trying to come up with what are the most valuable features? How are we meeting a business need and a user need on both sides? Because you have the two-way market, right? You've had experts, you've had customers, and having them be able to come together in a meaningful way. And on top of that, you have a team that you're trying to keep busy. So thinking about just more of a tactical level, how do you create this with a cross-functional team? Make sure you have, work to keep the team busy, enough surface area for multiple developers to be in there, making sure you're delivering quality code.
And one thing I didn't know, so we have 20 plus categories, right? Any type of expert is welcome onto our platform and we'll find a place for you. But you never know what's really going to take off. Yeah. So in reality, what we found out is actually athletics and then content creators. So it needs to be wide, but it's like, how do you spread yourself well amongst the nation? Well, in reality, we build a tool that adds another way to monetize the followers for content creators. So For example, we have an HVAC technician with 200,000 followers that's had over 50 bookings now. Or the gymnast that came onto our platform in the very beginning, she's had over 30-some bookings. There's a young lady who's less than 10 years old in Kentucky that's now able to meet with someone states away because she fell off the high bar, one of the gymnastic pieces of equipment, was discouraged, didn't want to get back on, and now she's able to talk to someone that's been there. And it's exciting to see that. But as we're building it, we don't know what's going to be the main focus. But one of the cool things that we have is, because we're able to spread wide, is the mom that booked the daughter in gymnastic has now transferred over to another category to have a booking, or a really success story to share where we had an HVAC technician book another HVAC technician who then went over into IT, then who went over to business because he wants to start his own company, and is now going, why spend hours and hours in guessing where I can just pay $30, $40, $50, $60 and go talk to someone specific for my answer. So it's amazing to see how now, once someone does it once, they start going into the different categories and so forth. But as you shared, it's a challenge that how do you build something that meets everybody, but really able to focus in on the specifics.